Are you ready for a pair of massive rockets that are set to make history before the new year? Because the launch of SpaceX's Starship may occur within weeks of NASA's first Artemis mission, and SpaceX has reshuffled the leadership of its Starship program in Texas in preparation for an intensified push toward the rocket's next major milestone. You are watching Elon.Musk, and if you like what you are about to see, please smash that like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, or leave something in the comments. There could be a significant amount of space travel history to be made in the closing weeks of 2022. This is because two long-awaited and game-changing rockets are now set to create their first trips to space within weeks of each other. While Elon Musk is making headlines every day for his reforms at Twitter, his space company's launch site in Texas is undergoing a substantial restructuring. According to CNBC's sources, SpaceX President COO Gwynne Shotwell and Vice President Mark Juncosa, two of the most prominent executives at the firm other than Musk himself, are now overseeing the facility and operations of the company's Starbase location. After investing more than 2 years working on the next generation rocket in Texas, Senior Director of Starship Operations Shyamal Patel is reportedly leaving the site to transfer to the company's facilities in Cape Canaveral. Patel's former station was at the Cape, but after receiving a promotion, he was sent to the Starbase. If the climate in Florida remains favorable, NASA is optimistic that its brand new Space Launch System and Orion capsule will be ready for liftoff on November 14 for the uncrewed Artemis 1 voyage around the Moon. This, of course, is contingent on the weather in Florida. In the meantime, the space agency has included another vehicle in its Artemis program to return humans to the Moon. This vehicle is the Starship, which was developed by SpaceX and is owned by Elon Musk. The Starship is scheduled to make its first flight beyond the limits of the Earth's atmosphere at the beginning of December. Both mega rockets have been in development for a number of years and are now prepared to establish new standards in terms of their power and their lifting capacity. If the Artemis 1 rocket is finally launched after multiple setbacks the following week, it will become the most powerful operational rocket in the world and the most powerful rocket that NASA has ever launched. However, just a few weeks later, Starship with its first Super Heavy booster might be able to surpass it. The Super Heavy booster is intended to produce even more thrust than the SLS. All of this is being done in the interest of expanding human habitation further into the solar system, initially by constructing a permanent base on the surface of the Moon via a series of Artemis missions, and then continuing on to Mars in the 2030s. It seems conceivable that both the SLS-Orion combination and Starship will play a part in the delivery of astronauts and infrastructure to the Moon over the course of the next decade. The Starship was chosen by NASA as the human landing system for the Artemis program in the previous year. Omid Afshar, a Texas-based Tesla operations lead, was covertly recruited by the space company to serve as the vice president of Starship manufacturing. The new tasks that have been assigned to Shotwell and Juncosa were initially revealed by Bloomberg, while The Information was the first to report on the addition of Afshar. A request for comment from CNBC regarding the restructuring was not immediately met with a response from SpaceX. Outside of the city of Brownsville in the state of Texas is where you'll find the complex that SpaceX has been rapidly expanding and naming Starbase. This facility acts as the primary hub for the development, testing, and launching of the approximately 120-meter-tall Starship rocket. It is essential to NASA's plan to return personnel to the Moon, for which SpaceX secured a contract worth about $3 billion from the government in 2021, and the rocket is meant to carry both freight and people beyond the surface of the Earth. These appointments highlight the sense of urgency that exists among the firm to get Starship airborne as soon as possible. Shotwell and Juncosa have been with SpaceX since the company was only getting started under Musk's leadership. One of the people familiar with the situation told CNBC that Juncosa made a visit to Starbase during the summer for what was supposed to be a 2-week stint. The purpose of Juncosa's visit was to bring a new perspective and provide an update to Musk and Shotwell on the progress of development at the site. This individual described Juncosa's findings as frightening, stating that an attempt to launch into space was further away than the corporate leadership had anticipated. SpaceX had anticipated undertaking the first orbital Starship launch as early as the summer of 2021. However, delays in progress as well as delays in receiving regulatory approval have pushed back that timeframe. According to a report that was published by NASA a month ago, SpaceX most recently informed the agency that Starship's first orbital launch may take place as soon as the beginning of December. In June, the Federal Aviation Administration finally finished its long-awaited environmental study of the Starbase facility. This was an essential step in the process that led to the company acquiring a license for Starship launches from the federal regulator. However, as a result of that ruling made by the FAA, SpaceX was forced to take more than 75 steps toward environmental mitigation. However, it is uncertain whether or not all of these actions have been completed. On Friday, CNBC asked the FAA for an update on the procedure, but the FAA did not respond to the request. The Raptor series of engines that power SpaceX's Starship rocket and its Super Heavy booster allows the entire system to be designed to be reusable, in contrast to the partially reusable elements of the company's Falcon series of rockets. The Raptor series of engines powers the Starship rocket and its Super Heavy booster. A year ago, Elon Musk highlighted a problem with the manufacture of Raptor engines, which resulted in the departure of the vice president of the program. Since then, SpaceX has increased its production of Raptor engines to a rate of 7 per week. This is an essential increase, given each Super Heavy booster needs 33 engines and each Starship rocket has 6. Although Musk has long advocated for staff at the business's headquarters in Hawthorne, California, to relocate to Starbase in order to assist with the development of Starship, the company is now offering further incentives to encourage employees to make the trip. According to sources familiar with the matter who spoke with CNBC, SpaceX sent an offer to its salaried staff 1 week ago to increase their salary by anywhere from 10 to 25% if they relocated to South Texas. According to information obtained by CNBC, the corporation also raised the hourly pay rates for staff working at Starbase who do not get salaries and introduced performance-based bonuses for 2023. In addition to flying regular cargo and crew flights for NASA and other organizations, the firm owned and operated by Elon Musk is launching Falcon rockets into orbit at a breakneck pace this year. But Starship is the linchpin to further expansion of the $127 billion company. SpaceX needs the rocket to effectively deploy the second generation of its Starlink satellites, which is required to get past what Musk has termed as the financially poor first generation. There is a growing backlog of private astronaut flights on the rocket that SpaceX is working to fulfill. The most recent test flight of a Starship was conducted by the corporation in May 2021 using the SN-15 prototype. However, the test flight only reached an altitude of approximately 30,000 feet, making it significantly less demanding than an orbital launch would be. In the past few months, SpaceX has gathered momentum through increasingly more robust static fire engine tests of both its Starship prototype SN-24 and its Super Heavy booster prototype number 7. How do you think the launch of Elon Musk's Starship will dominate the space race? Let us know in the comment section below. And that brings us to the end of the video. Feel free to let us know what you think about this video. And if you liked this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.